Hello, it's day 19. Sorry there wasn't a day one yesterday. It was my birthday, so I decided to just take a break from it and relax. Or by relax, I mean do laundry and stress out. I kind of do every weekend. Well, days off I have anyway. But today I have something to talk about. After days and days and days of nothing to talk about, I read a book. That's right, I read a book. It was a children's book by the name of Goosebumps, Son of Slappy. I didn't buy it. I just read it at Barnes and Noble. I'll put up a cover like right now, and it was something, all right. So it starts off with Jackson, our protagonist. He's a good kid. He's actually described as like a goody two shoes. Like he turns in all his homework. He volunteers at the youth center. He never gets in trouble. Unlike his bitch sister Rachel, who's just a real mean kid, just hates him so much because he's such a goody two shoes. And Jackson, he and his sister go away for the week for spring break to go see their grandpa. And grandpa is a real weirdo. Collects weird stuff like board games and old model cars and radios. Just collects weird stuff. And wouldn't you know it, he now has a collection of dummies. You see where this is going. And one of those dummies happens to be Slappy, or, well, to be fair, the grandpa says it isn't actually Slappy. It's a recreation of Slappy, which he calls Son of Slappy. there's no like there's no like Slappy Junior or anything, or like Slapster or any like other like shorter names for it. It's just Son of Slappy, or SOS if you would prefer. Although that's what I'm gonna call him from now on because Son of Slappy is too long. So his caretaker, the grandpa's caretaker, he says a dog's evil. He says the honor of the devil and he's evil. It doesn't talk like that, but it's the basic gist of it. So he tells him that, and well, Grandpa also says he's evil, but it's a reproduction, so it can't become evil. So it's at the end of the week. They go back home, and it turns out someone snuck the doll, the dummy, into Jackson's suitcase. Who could have been? Maybe it was a dummy. Who knows? But he basically stole it from his grandpa, or someone tried to blame him for stealing it. Could have been Rachel. But his parents, since he's such a nice kid, they don't believe that he stole it. Such a good kid, they don't question it. They just said, oh, well, okay, I guess. Well, they do try to call him to confirm, call the grandpa to confirm that he gave it to him, but they can't reach it, so they just take that as a yes. And, there's some fucking around, like, Rachel being a bitch and Evan Jackson being a good guy. You know, hanging around with Stick and Miles, his African American friend. Only one of them's African American. They specify Miles's, but not Sticks. Sticks was just like default, I guess, white, since they didn't describe it. Because if you don't describe their race, they're just white. Because that's the default of humanity. So he goes, plays around with the doll, and he sees that inside, the little piece of paper with the magic words Karu, Mirai, Nikto, Veruca, Bahama, Come On Pretty Mama on it. And he doesn't read them out loud. He doesn't. Instead, he says that he tells his friends that if you read them out loud, it causes the dummy to come to life. But his little bitch ass sister Rachel comes and reads in front of him, and nothing really happens for a while. But then, when he's alone in his room with Slappy, or Son of Slappy, turns out he is alive, and he isn't the Son of Slappy. He's the real Slappy, which doesn't make sense because he's been cut up and destroyed many times over. So I don't know if he's like just recreated or whatever. He's just back. He's Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees in it, He's just relentless in his pursuit. And so this is actually giving credit for all the other dummy stories that happen where like the doll comes to life and fucks everything up and blames it on the other people. This one's not really a possessed dummy story. It's a possessed boy story. Yeah, Jackson, he gets possessed by Slappy. Every time he hears a little chirping sound, he becomes possessed and does really mean shit. Like tell mean jokes and destroy posters for the art center and the youth center. It's really it's really actually kind of refreshing from all the other Slappy stories where it's just the doll being possessed. Actually, there's one story, I think it's Slappy's Nightmare, where it's actually from the viewpoint of Slappy, and he actually do three good things, or else he'll be put to sleep forever. And I think actually that's one of the only book that Mr. Wood from the original Night of the Living Dummy actually comes back. Like, I think I read that one first before the original Night of the Living Dummy. So when Mr. Wood shows up, I'm like, the fuck is he? But there's actually a callback, so that's pretty cool. But back to Son of Slappy. So he does a lot of bad shit, and he tries to say he can't really explain that it's a dummy. He's like, it's somewhat believable that it's he's not trying to explain that the dummy did it because he knows that's crazy. And they actually think he's crazy. He's gone like bad or something. They actually take him to the doctor and they give him little blue pills. His mother's little helpers to try and like make him sane. To his doctor, Dr. Marks, who got me thinking either the Marx Brothers or Karl Marx. So either he's a communist or he's three people rolled into one. Or I don't. There are three. There's three Marx Brothers, right? There's Harpo, Chico, Groucho, then Gummo and Zeppo, or five. I don't know. So give him pills. He doesn't take him. The pills that would take the edge off. I guess they're Ritalin or something. They say they're little blue pills, so if that means anything to you, I guess that's what they were. And so he doesn't take the pills. He tries to get rid of Slappy. He can't because the parents say since it was a gift from their uncle, their grandpa, he can't just throw it out, which kind of sucks. So he's getting possessed by Slappy, and he just does really mean shit. And so the big climax of the book, which really didn't feel like it, because like he never really confronts the dummy. Like Slappy, entire book, he's in complete control of everything. Like there's no like he's not defeated. He actually wins. Well, as much as he can win, being a dummy and not really having that much power. He actually does have power. He has powers of possession, which is actually a lot better. Of like I guess he can possess other dolls because he did actually possess like at least two kids in the TV show. He possessed like the fat kid and Bride of Slappy, and the cousin in Night of the Living Dummy 3. The big climax is at the bake sale and talent show where they're gonna raise money for the youth center. That's gonna be closed down unless they don't. It's like Breaking Two, Electric Boogaloo. It's like where if they don't raise enough money, the dance hall's gonna get shut down. I wish it was a breakdancing competition. That would have been way better, but no. Or a rap off, like in Night of the Living Dummy 1. That would have been great. But no, it's just a stage show. There's a jazz band and a play. He's actually a pretty good guy. Jackson is a good dude. Like in like contrast to the other pieces of shit that are in Goosebumps, like the two fucking twins that I hated in Night of the Living Dummy 1. He's actually a good guy, and like not like obnoxiously so. He's like just a regular dude who does nice things. That's admirable. I wish I could be like him. But he got fucking. That's just why this is kind of a sad book because he doesn't win. He's still possessed by the dummy, and he does bad shit and gets in trouble. Like this is like just like this is like I. This is the first thing that comes to mind. This is like 1984, where the protagonist just is just fucking beaten into submission by his oppressor. Like I think it's Winston in 1984. Winston with Big Brother, Slappy to Jackson, if that makes any sense. That should be my catchphrase. So he gets in trouble again for fucking up, like telling mean insults to all the people around and biting. First, the dummy bites. I don't know why he did this, but he was gonna have like a ventriloquist act at the talent show or whatever. And even though the dummy's evil and is threatening to possess him more and more, he still brings it to the fucking stage show, and then it fucking tells jokes, like tells mean jokes and insults everyone. And then a little kid, I think it's Froggy, the little friendly guy, little kid that he's hanging out with. I think he bites Froggy. Slappy bites Froggy, and then the woman who runs the youth center, Jackson bites her. Like he actually bites her, like with his teeth instead of a little dummy. And they wouldn't let go. And so he fucked up real bad, and his parents ground him for months. Like they ground him so much that he can't go to school unless like he's actually able to go to school. And then I don't know why I'm laughing about this. This is very terrible and sad. They take away his allowance for a year. I think they take away his Game Boy, which actually turns out to be the source of Slappy's powers, kind of. Because every time, it turns out every time Jackson hears a chirp, he gets possessed. With the little Game Boy he has, that has like chicken clucker or something like that, and like they chirp in chickens. It's described very weirdly, like where they you have to slide chickens into warthogs. It's very weird, very weirdly defined. It gets up to like level 15, I think, at one point. Whatever. This is actually another thing about like new Goosebumps is that like it's like trying to be more timeful or less timeless as the other books because like the older ones are dated. Like you know what I do have Haunted Mask right beside me, and I want to see if I can find a reference to like a Game Boy or something that was like okay, I can't find anything. I was gonna find if like there was like a data reference like New Coke or like 30 something or General Hospital, something that's old and no one watches anymore. But now it's like iPads, video game system, like new portable video game systems and Nerf footballs and stuff that's timely now. Actually, the next book in the series of Most Wanted is called How I Met Your Monster, and I was kind of compelled to read the next one. I might do that tomorrow if I have time from work. And yeah, so Jackson gets grounded, and and at the very last page of the book, it turns out that Rachel was fucking with Evan. Like this is like when like one of the sister or brother of the protagonist fucks with them, like pretending to make the dummy evil. She purposely made the dummy evil, and she was working with Slappy the whole fucking time. Like she replaced the piece of paper that's supposed to take away Slappy's powers with a blank one, and then turns out she's the daughter of Slappy. So there's a son and a daughter. It's a nuclear family. Well, there's no mother. There was a bride of Slappy, but she didn't really stick around. Plus, she was like an 8-year-old girl, so that would have been creepy. It would have been like, what is it like? Who's that guy? Who's that great balls of fire guy? Hold on. It would have been like the Jerry Lee Ray Lewis nuclear family of a doll, a little girl, and 2 children. I should have said Lolita, but that would make more sense. But that's just what came to my mind first. Actually, Lolita came to my mind first. But like, I can make a better reference than that. So that was the twist of the book. That it doesn't really matter, does it? Because like, I think from other dummy books, doing that, saying the words again, doesn't work. So even if she hadn't replaced the magic words, it wouldn't have done anything. So he just did it to fuck with Jackson. Which is still, he's a fucking asshole. Slappy's an asshole. A hilarious, hilarious asshole. This book, it's kind of hit and miss. Like, okay, another thing about this book, this may may just give an insight to what I'm feeling right now. But every time like they describe someone, like a female, I'll be like, yeah, she's pretty hot. Like the teacher, like his math history teacher, was described as like being really pretty and wearing like short skirts over black tights and I'm sorry, what? So I don't know, really hot and like a bunch of hot moms, I guess. I guess he wouldn't describe his mom as hot, but like the other mom figure was described as very pretty. So there's that. So this book, I'd give it 6 out of 10 demonic possessions. 6 out of 10 levels, chicken clucker. Or chicken chirper. Yeah, there's the thing about like canaries. Like apparently since they chirp, they caused Evan to be possessed. So there's that. But yeah, this was day 19. Actually, a pretty busy day. I did some applications and resume stuff. Turned in those. Tomorrow I'm gonna go out and get my Mew hopefully from GameStop if they have the cards. I don't know if it's gonna be one per customer or whatever, but I'll try and see what they have. But yeah, this is day. I want to make sure it's day 19. Yeah, it's day 19. Yeah, it's day 19. So happy day 19, and yesterday is my birthday. Today is my first day as a 24-year-old. What a day it was. Bye bye.